What's up, YouTube? Skunk72 coming at you from Southern California on nice 90-degree fall day. I know you guys sick of hearing that same story, right? So once again, we're in the high fire danger. We already had a gnarly one last week, and there was one today that threatened some houses, but that one got taken care of quick. Sorry, today's not going to be anything special. There's not going to be any good scenery or anything. It's just a little cross town while I run some errands type of ride. But since I don't have much chance to ride lately, I've decided to bring the bike to go run my errands. And you all know there's going to be a beer stop in there somewhere where I'm going to go pick up something for tonight. It's Monday night, so I need something for the Monday night football game, right? So the only thing I really had in mind to talk about today was a little safety chat. Because now, 2 times in about a week's period, I've had to go on a gnarly motorcycle accident. And to be honest with you, I don't like picking up my brothers off the street. Now, one of them, it was definitely rider error for sure. His son was actually riding behind him, and his son said they took a turn. What he reported to California Highway Patrol was that they were going 85 through a canyon turn. And you know what that usually means when you tell the officer you were doing 85, he was probably doing 95. Well, during this turn, he couldn't maintain his lane, went off the road, and basically head on into the side of a mountain. Now, sorry for how graphic this is going to be. I'm not going to put up any pictures or anything, but I'm going to tell you. When we got there, his leg was hanging on by the skin behind his kneecap. That's the only thing that was holding his leg in place. The rest of his leg was severed. On the way to the hospital, we realized he had what's called flail chest, which means his rib cage was basically destroyed and basically serving no purpose. He was bleeding into his lungs, which, you know, you can't tell that in the field, but we had good suspicion that he would be. But he was bleeding into his lungs. That was found out at the hospital. And he was also bleeding into his brain. At the hospital, they had to drill a hole in his skull to release that pressure from his brain. This could have been avoided just by slowing down and not showing off for somebody. Alright, well, so judging from... Well, actually, let me first say that before I get to talking about the second accident, I made a little stop here. And I know you all don't care, judging from the views or lack thereof views from my beer review video that I did a couple weeks ago. This is what I came to get. It's the Dude's Brewing Company Coconut Porter. Love this stuff. So that's going to be going home with me. It's kind of hard to find. And it comes in 16-ounce 4-packs, which happen to fit perfectly in a saddlebag, which is nice. Okay, so the next accident I wanted to talk about was actually just a couple of days ago. We're going to be riding right by the spot where it happened. I don't know full details of how it happened. Nobody really knew. They just kind of saw the guy go flying. But he went through a center divider just like this, with bushes and trees and stuff all over the place. And he tore him up pretty good. So I'm going to say he had to have been going pretty damn fast. So I don't know the circumstances. I don't know if he got cut off by a cager. I don't know, but he was obviously going too fast. This gentleman, he didn't have his helmet strapped on. When flying, his helmet came off on impact and he landed on his head. And it turns out he was taking blood thinners to help with some health problems that he was having. Which, knocking your head and being on blood thinners does not go well together. So, this one, it was kind of interesting. You could actually see his head swelling like towards the outside. The swelling was going towards the outside as we were driving towards the hospital with him, which is kind of weird. You know, well, I mean, that honestly, that probably means he's got a fractured skull, and the bleeding into his brain was actually going through the fracture and pooling on the outside, which, I don't know, maybe that's a better thing because it's not putting pressure on his brain. I mean, I don't know. So neither one of these guys, I don't know the outcome of either one of them. I don't know if they survived the night or not. Which, you know, that's one of the unfortunate parts of my job. If things go down like same day and same crews at the hospital, and I could go to the hospital and find out later on, hey, what happened with this guy? You know, they won't give me details because of, you know, HIPAA rights violations and all that stuff, but, you know, I'll usually be able to find out if they survived or not. So, as I was saying, one of the more unfortunate things about my job is I don't get to find out an outcome. I don't know if we were able to save these people's lives or not. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. It's an unfortunate thing. And actually right here is where that second one happened. You can't really see where he went through the bushes anymore. They must have cleaned it all up real nice, but he was on the ground right here. Alright, so I'm done running all my errands, and I'm going to be heading home. I'm going to make this really quick. Say goodbye, since you guys are facing right in the sun. You're going to be kind of facing this way for the entire trip home. Last thing I wanted to leave you with was a little something for safety. Well, kind of safety-ish. Something I'd like to see you all add to your pre-trip. So I know most of you aren't going to know this, since my last video only got a handful of views. So the few of you that watched will already know this. Last time when I was out riding, I had my header bolt nuts fall off of my exhaust. Now, as far as I know, I could have been missing one for a while, and the second one just finally rattled loose and came off. So my exhaust was coming from my front cylinder directly out through the cylinder there. It wasn't going through any piping at all. And at some point I lost them. I honestly don't know when. It went total exhaust leak at some point while I was riding last time. I don't know exactly where. I was trying to listen on the video to see exactly when the exhaust note changed, but I couldn't find it. So it's something that I've had to add to my pre-trip now. Every time I go to leave, I've been checking those to make sure they're tight, they're not going to fall off again. And as soon as I put the new ones on and went for a ride, I got home, they were loose again. So you gotta make sure you tighten them up a couple times, especially when they're new, because they are going to loosen up with the heat. One cool note about that story is when I went to Santa Clarita Harley Davidson to get the new nuts, when I went in and told him what I needed, he checked the computer and said, dude, we're sold out, I'm gonna have to order them. Well, I had left my bike at my mom's house because I was nearby when this happened, and I was a little upset about the idea of not being able to take my bike home. I didn't want to leave it at my mom's house. So the cool guy at Santa Clarita Harley went to the back to where the mechanics are, grabbed a couple of them for me, and just came out and tossed them to me and said, here, just put these in your pocket, they're yours. So like I said, that's something I'm going to be adding to my every ride pre-trip. I'm going to be double checking those, and maybe once I get more in stock, I might actually throw a couple in my saddlebag so I have extras with me at all times. So since the rest of this ride is probably going to be a whole lot of that traffic, I'll just go ahead and sign it off here so you guys don't have to watch me ride home and all of it. So we'll cut it off and say rubber side down, shiny side up, and peace out. I will talk to you all next time.